I wanted to play this clip from the other day because I think that it's, people ask me who I think is going to win the presidency. And the first thing I say, you tell me first who's alive, the first week in November. And then I'll even fancy a guess. I think it's I think Donald Trump is going to be the Republican nominee. However, it is important to note that, and I think Donald Trump knows better than to go after Social Security and Medicare, but the rest of the Republican Party is certainly interested in that, despite the fact that that has been Trump's campaign promises. Here is Ron DeSantis flailing around on Social Security this weekend with Fox's Howard Kurtz. But the interesting thing here is understand, like, they try and do this desperate. Even when they're talking, I'm not going to cut Social Security, they say seconds later, but I am going to cut Social Security. Yeah, I mean, Chris Christie said that he's going to cut Social Security. I almost appreciate it if he were to be president. I almost appreciate that honesty more than whatever the hell this is. Chris Christie's been on that for a long time. Shared sacrifice means that people who rely on Social Security won't need it. But listen to the incoherence of this response by Ron DeSantis. I mean, all the words sound glib. He's able to get his talking points out. But if you actually examine what he's saying, it is completely self-disproving. Listen.
Let me get to a couple of issues. You said that Republicans are not going to mess with Social Security, but as a congressman, you voiced support for privatizing Social Security and raising the retirement age to 70 for future seniors down the road. What made you change your mind?
Well, I've always said, promise made, promise kept. I'm a governor of Florida. Of course we're going to protect people's Social Security. My grandmother passed away when she was 91. That was her sole source of income. And that's true for millions of seniors. And so that goes without saying. So when people say that we're going to somehow cut seniors, so that is totally not true. Talking about making changes for people in their 30s or 40s so that the program's viable, that's a much different thing. And that's something that I think that there's going to need to be discussions on. But that's just the reality in terms of where I've been. So I don't think it's necessarily a change. And in terms of privatization, what I always said was you aren't going to be able to offer individual accounts because there's no Social Security surplus. There used to be massive surpluses.
Yeah. Okay, this is him saying that, yes, I was for privatization, but now I'm not because it's not the flavor du jour. But let's listen to what he says here. We're not going to cut Social Security for people who are getting it now. We're going to cut it for people who are 30 and 40. Right. Seconds after he says that his grandmother relied on Social Security as her sole source of income. Yes. Why? Are we to believe that these people who are 30 and 40 today will not age and become grandmothers? Will somehow all of these people disappear? Why would he deny Social Security to some of those 30 and 40-year-olds who will, like his grandmother, rely on Social Security, unfortunately, as their sole source of income in retirement? In fact, it keeps 2/3 of our elderly out of poverty. There is no reason to think that it's going to keep any less out of, or need to keep less out of poverty for 30 and 40-year-olds in 30 and 25 years down the road. It's just. But they won't be voting for him for president then. Don't you understand? They won't have the effects of Social Security cuts felt until they're at retirement age. And by then it'll be too late for anyone to do anything about it. And Ron DeSantis, in his mind, will have been a 2-term president. That's genuinely the cynicism of this kind of thing. It's the same reason that they don't push for Social Security and Medicare cuts when they have a Republican in the executive branch in the White House, because they just want the Democrat to own it as a part of what they tried to do multiple times with Obama. I mean, to be fair, certainly George Bush wanted to privatize it, and Obama wanted to cut the cost of living increases for seniors. And so, and to, I guess, presumably blame it on the Republicans. Fortunately, which I do think is a sign of movement on behalf of Democrats is that there is absolutely no push amongst the Democratic Party to cut Social Security. Even Joe Biden, who was bragging about it 30 years ago, that he wants to cut Social Security, in no way whatsoever in a position he knows to push the cuts for Social Security. I mean, this is the way the politics work, folks, is that it's not just a matter of one guy. The question is, who are the people that bring this person into office? And, you know, one of the most disturbing things about the RFK clip, you know, again, the anti-Semitism aside for a moment, because I don't know that he's anti-Semitic as much as what he was saying was anti-Semitic, because it is a clear indication between the anti-Semitism, the idea that we definitely have bioweapons, and the idea that COVID was manufactured and targeted towards certain people, because it couldn't be targeted towards certain people if it wasn't manufactured. Let's be clear. Gives you an indication of who he's talking to and where he's getting his information. Not to mention, we should say the claim about the bioweapons lab in that exists in Ukraine, which was debunked and was at one point like a mid 6 or 7 months in, Putin was claiming that's why we're there, to stop weapons of mass destruction. But it is about the people that you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
And where whose ideas you're listening to.